The following is a Rockingham Media sports presentation.
And welcome, Smoky Valley volleyball fans. This is Don Binks along with Doug Snyder. We're live at Smoky Valley Gym for the first round of the state as the Vikings cruise to their sub-state victory with victories over Minneapolis, over Heston, and then over Rock Creek to get here to tonight's game. The Cheney Cardinals, coming from down by Wichita, cruised in their first two sets. They beat Haven easily. They beat Halstead easily, but then they were taken to three sets by Wichita Trinity. So it's going to be a matchup of two great teams tonight, Doug, and let's hope our Vikings have the edge.
Yeah, it really is going to be a great matchup tonight. It should be phenomenal volleyball. Cheney has been a perennial powerhouse. They've been really good since their head coach, Sarah Walkup, got there a number of years ago. We had a lot of great battles when I was coaching. I know all the way through Coach O'Neill, Coach Dieterding, all of them, so that they have a talented team, and they obviously bring a team in here that can compete very well, especially down around Wichita. Played against some very good teams throughout the year. There's some very good teams missing from state as well. Obviously, Cheney comes in ranked number 2 in the state, Smoky Valley number 3, Sabetha number 1, West Franklin number 8. Meanwhile, you've got the number 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10 teams all sitting at home this week.
Yeah.
And that's one of the perils of having to put together a sub-state and where you have to play at. You know, a couple of those teams were in that same regional as Sabetha, the number 1 seed. I know Royal Valley got knocked out there, Rossville got knocked out there, and Silver Lake all got knocked out there. So, fortunately for the Vikings, like you said, they cruised to victory on Saturday. Played some phenomenal volleyball, got some great play from Bree Franklin, as well as Abby Rose up front, and also some excellent setting and serving from Elise Ramsey and McKinley Johnson. So they'll need that again tonight.
Yeah, they'll need to rise and shine. Their serving was really good, and their net play was good, and so it's going to take all of that tonight. It's a 5-set match, so winner has to win 3 sets, so it could be a long night of volleyball with a lot of back and forth matches. Good crowd starting to gather already. There's a limited number of tickets, but I think they still have some general admission tickets, so if you're thinking about coming by, come on by and enjoy this great matchup of high school volleyball. We'll take our first time out. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about some stats, and then a little bit later we have an interview with Coach Ramsey about her team. You're listening to Smoky Valley Basketball back after this 1 minute timeout.
It takes an entire community to raise a child. USD 400 would like to thank the local businesses, parents, and patrons of the Smoky Valley who support our young people every day. Together, we are making a difference in the lives of our children. Go Vikes! If it's game day, it's on at the Old Stuga in Lindsborg. Streaming all the Smoky Valley and Bethany games, you won't miss a play. Come in to pregame or to celebrate after the game. The Old Stuga in downtown Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Smoky Valley Chiropractic. Dr. Daryl Loader has been on the Viking sidelines since 1995. A doctor with advanced certification in both wellness and sports injury management, he is the resident expert in the Smoky Valley, helping others live long, active, healthy lives since 1995.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Bank of Tuscan. Come see us for all your home loan needs in the Smoky Valley, including construction loans at Stockholm Estates. Equal housing lender, NMLS 403648. Member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tuscan.
Auburn Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy, located at 216 North Harrison Street, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
I really appreciate the faculty and staff here at Bethany. They care about their students and they're helping them achieve their goals and to be successful.
It's a Christian-based college, and I felt that he was in the right hands when I left him here.
We chose Bethany College so my son could have a good life.
If you want inspired learning at an affordable price, choose Bethany College. Learn more about your good life at bethanylb.edu.
Welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym. Don Binks along with Doug Snyder. Got Jared Bass working the controls for us again. The Smoky Valley volleyball. If I said basketball, I certainly didn't mean to. I know I said it one time right, but probably didn't get it right every time. But the Vikings come in we just got some amazing hitters, and you call them kills, and I just call them hitters, but you call them kills, but our girls really know how to attack.
Yeah, they do a great job of that, and then obviously the hit is what you get when you go over the net, but the kill is the actual point. And so that's where we start to get into those numbers, and I know you've got some of our Smoky Valley kill leaders right there as well. On this season, you've got Abby Rose with 246 kills. That's a phenomenal, not to mention her hitting percentage at 388. Then you've got Bree Franklin at 185, hitting at 389. And you've got Addie Heitschmidt at 170, hitting at 230. For Cheney, meanwhile, same type of thing. They've kind of got a three-headed monster as well. They've got Albers leading them, hitting 278. She's got 176 kills. Shear, she's hitting at 260 with 159. And Martin comes in hitting with 102 kills. Not quite as accurate as her counterparts, but she's still got a lot of them. I tell you what, some of them we're talking about today and what we've seen on a little bit of film, one of their phenomenal players right now is their setter, and that happens to be Brooklyn Wee Wee. She does a phenomenal job. She plays, like you said, all the way around, but she also hits a lot from the front row. She'll go up and attack and hit with the left hand, and so once they kind of open up that little dump shot that we talked about over the weekend, they may end up using her a lot more throughout those matches. And because you have a player like that, she kind of puts you on your heels a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. You've got to be careful. Other quarterfinal matches were already played last night. Goodland ended up beating Hayes TMP. The best of the #1 overall seed was successful over Perry LeCompton. And Pomona West Franklin was successful over Riverton. So all the away teams won last night. We got to make sure we stop that trend tonight here so the home team can win tonight.
Yeah, it's coming down to that time. Obviously, state is a little bit different than what it's been in the past. Usually all 8 of these teams would have traveled to Hutch to play volleyball and pool play and then broken up into some bracket play on the next day. This year it's down to a one-day event. And so these play-in quarterfinal games, so to speak, kind of resonate a little bit differently. But you're right, 3 out of 5 sets tonight. It's really going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle of attrition. It's going to be like watching your baseball team play best 4 out of 7 or your basketball team play best 4 out of 7. It's going to be a competition to see who's got more in the tank.
Yeah, it will be. I had a chance to talk with Coach Ramsey yesterday, so we'll take a couple of commercials. We'll have that interview for you. Then we'll be back with starting lineups in the first serve. You're listening to Smoky Valley Volleyball.
People's Bank & Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank & Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Linsmore Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
And welcome back to more Viking pregame. Don Biggs along with Coach Charlene Ramsey. As you get to go to uncharted waters here, you get to have the first round of state, and you get to have the first round of state at home. That's got to be pretty exciting for you and the school and the girls.
Absolutely. The thought of hosting a first round of state in your home court is pretty unusual, and our crowd gets into the game, so we'll take full advantage of that for sure.
Getting back to Saturday when you played pretty much unchallenged, you mentioned at Quarterback Club you had a good support of the crowd. The girls really appreciated that crowd.
We did. They love having that student body, cheering and going crazy. And then just the other fans on the other side, our older fans and our parents. We had a really nice crowd, and that does help the girls feed off of that energy for sure.
Take us back to Saturday just a little bit. You played Minneapolis, and you played Heston, and you played Rock Creek. You didn't have a challenge in any of those matches. How much does that confidence spill over into this game tonight?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing we talked about with the girls is we had a full day of really competitive volleyball on our side. Like we really, a lot of times in volleyball, you shift momentum and you have those peaks and valleys, and we really, honestly, just really never had that Saturday. We just kept the gas pedal down and continued to battle. Our net play Saturday was incredible, our hitting and blocking, and we told the girls, if you keep stuff blocking, the hitters on the other side of the net will stop hitting, and they did for sure. They backed off, and we really shut them down, all 3 teams.
Now you got a Cheney team coming in that's really good, only 3 losses on the year. What are your plans to take care of the Cardinals?
So they're going to run a 5-1 offense, which means that they're going to run one setter. When she rotates to the front, that gives them just a 2-hitter option. And she's not real tall. She's feisty. She's athletic, but she's not going to block real well. So we're going to take advantage of when she's at the net for sure. She's going to do some things we haven't seen on a regular basis. A lot of teams don't run 5-1s. They'll try to go for a 6-2 just if you have a bigger front line, but they'll give the ball to her, and on ball 2 she'll dump or she'll hit an attack. She's a lefty and she's pretty feisty, so we have to contain her. But we also talked to the girls yesterday about what we have on our side, and sometimes we worry so much about what's on the other side. But as long as we take care of what's on our side, that's what we have control over. We should come out on top. We've got a great group of girls this year.
You've really been serving well, too. I think your serving percentage is just outstanding.
Yeah, so Saturday, I think we served 93% for the day. Overall season, I looked last night, we're at 91. The goal is always to be around 90. And coupled with that, though, we have girls serving some ace serves. McKinley Johnson just rattled up. I think she got 8 or 9 Saturday. And she's our starting server, and she really knows how to place the ball. She's very smart and really has some strategy that in her serve. She doesn't just go back there and serve to be serving.
Well, we wish you the best of luck tonight, and let's get a Viking victory and move on to Saturday.
Thanks, Donnie. Sounds good.
Charlene Ramsey of the Vikings, and we'll be back with more pregame right after this.
Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service, and coverage for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
At Salina Ortho, their physicians and staff help patients pursue a better life one day at a time. They help you regain control of your life, whether that means competing at the top of your game, playing with your grandkids, or simply enjoying a nice evening walk without pain. Salina Ortho is where you go for the highest quality orthopedic care in the area. Visit them online at salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Welcome back to Smoky Valley. Jim Don Binks along with Doug Snyder as we get closer to the start of tonight's match. The Vikings are out there on the court as the home team finishing up their final warm-ups, and they look pretty sharp and pretty motivated out there tonight.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't be. You got the opportunity to play 3 games on the weekend at home, and then you get a chance to host the quarterfinal game here tonight. Those girls have been excited. They've been ready to go.
This is the Class A quarterfinals tournament bracket, and the Vikings are in the 3-4 sub-state. Because they were the 4 sub-state, they get a host. So 1 hosted 2, 3 hosted 4, or 4 hosted 3, 6 hosted 5, and 8 hosted 7. And all the away teams won. So we got to change that tonight. And it's the Cheney Cardinals, like you said, very good team, 28-3, actually rated 1 spot higher than the Vikings because of their previous history. They've been good year in and year out. And the Vikings come in as a 3 seed, Sabeth is the 1 seed. So 1 and maybe 2 or 1 and 3 will be at the state tournament, the rest of the state tournament on Saturday. But it'll happen on Saturday morning. They'll play pool play, and then they'll play bracket play in the afternoon. So that's how the Saturday will turn out. I think we're going to have the national anthem here in a minute.
We're going to have something here in a minute. We're either going to have introductions or we're going to have the national anthem. But yeah, very excited to have that opportunity. Glad we're able to get this on the radio tonight as well and be able to promote this. And what a great year for Smoky Valley Athletics. You know, the cross-country teams and their success, tennis, their success, football making it to playoffs at Riley County on Friday, and, of course, volleyball here. Of course, holding on to that state ranking. I saw the boys are currently rated 2nd in the state as well in cross-country. And so what a phenomenal season for all of our teams across the way.
No kidding. No question about that. I think they're going to do introductions first. You want to do all the players? We just will do all of them because they're going to do all of them.
Yeah, Vikings, Cheney, first of all, Lexi Klein, she's going to be their libero tonight. Corey Lies, she has 179 digs this year. Good defensive specialist for them. Number 2. Number 4, Campbell Haig. She's a 6-foot sophomore. Number 5, Anna Martin, 5'7" sophomore. Number 7, Carson Frieden. She is a 5'4" junior. Number 8, Reagan Geegan. She is a 5'8" sophomore. Number 10, Kylie Shear. She has 159 kills on the year. She is a 5'8" senior. Number 12, Lacey Lures, a 5'10" junior. Number 13, Brooklyn Wee. She has 395 assists this year. She is a 5'5" junior. Number 15, Olivia Albers. She has 176 kills, a 5'9" junior. And Camden Pipkin, number 18, 63 kills. She is a 5'10" senior. And finally, Chloe Waltrip, 5'5" senior. She is number 20. Of course, they're head coach by Sarah Walkup, assistant coaches Megan Pipkin and Carly Begley. For the Vikings, meanwhile, number 2, Elise Ramsey, a Vikings setter. She is a senior at 5'3". Number 3, outside hitter Addie Heitschmidt, 5'8" senior. Number 4, defensive specialist Chloe Patrick, a 5'3" junior. Number 5, setter McKinley Johnson, a 5'6" senior. Number 8, Lainey Haig, a 5'8" junior outside hitter. Number 9, Belle Peters, a 5'8" senior who is a right side hitter, Number 10, Maddie Toll, 5'10" junior, right side hitter. Number 11, Carrington Haxton, 5'7" senior as a defensive specialist. Number 14, Aubrey Boldra, right side hitter, 5'7". Number 17, Abby Rose, 6-foot junior. She is a middle hitter. Number 41, Avery Vanderweg. She also is a middle hitter, 5'6" junior. Libero. And number 42, Bree Franklin, a 5'11" senior at middle hitter.
And it is time for the national anthem, so we'll be back in 1 minute.
As a reminder, all spectators, coaches, and officials are asked to wear a mask and practice social distancing while in attendance. Players are to wear masks when not participating. By following these simple yet important measures, each of us will show our respect for the health and well-being of those in attendance tonight. Congratulations and good luck to both teams.
Supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
I'm not sure who the other one is. I've had Kenny a number of times, though, as well as one of our officials, so I definitely recognized him.
He's been helping me with MAYB basketball for 20 years or longer, so I've known Kenny for a long, long time. But the Vikings will be out there on the front row with Maddie Toll, Boldra, and Rose, and in the back row, Haxton, Heitschmidt, and Ramsey. Cheney Cardinals with their libero out there, number 0, Lexi Klein. Number 2, Lies. Number 15, Albers, the one you talked about that was so good. Number 12, Lures. And the last one, I can't get her number. Number 10, I believe, is Shear. First serve is Cheney. Maddie Toll with the hit. And looks like it's out of bounds. The first point goes to the Cheney Cardinals.
Yeah, the big thing to get over right now is being tight. You know, the Vikings are going to be a little bit tight getting going. You just got to get in that flow and kind of get going. Sometimes it's a little tougher being the home team, I think.
Wee Wee is the server. She's a left-hander, so that is a little bit different. Hits the net on the way over. There's Maddie Toll, gets it over. Dug out by Cardinals. Here comes the hit. And a block by Maddie Toll.
What an ace block by Maddie Toll. She was all over the top of that. The pass, obviously, the outside there to Albers, and Maddie Toll just ate that up for her first block of the night and for the Vikings' first point of the night as well. Wasn't even a double block. Didn't have time to get the double set. They're a little worried about that setter dumping from the front row and also hitting from the 3 spot.
McKinley Johnson, the Vikings' best server, on the way, and it's a good serve. Set not so good, and the Vikings have it easily. And McKinley, that one didn't get up so good for the Vikings, so that was a little bit of a bad play for the Vikings. So Cheney up 2-1.
Yeah, Albers is going to get credit for the kill on that one, and the big issue right there was just what you mentioned. The pass came in a little bit tight, a difficult pass for Johnson to pick up. Goes over the net, and Albers was able to make the play.
And Albers going to serve with a big jump serve coming in, picked up by Haxton. And the Vikings get it over, but not where they wanted to. Here's the setup nicely coming from the left side. Good block by the Vikings, and they save the play. Here comes Bolga, and it's going to be deep. 3-1, Cheney.
Nice dig. Way to keep the ball alive there by Peters on a nice attack there by Cheney. She did get it up. The Vikings had a chance at the kill. Boulder just hit it a little bit long.
Albert serve. Oh, it's an ace serve. Kind of did a little edge on Carrington Haxton. So quickly out to a 4-1 lead is the Cardinals.
Yeah, nice serves by Albers. Nice jump serve. She has 21 aces on the year already. That takes her now to 22.
Another Albers serve. Vanderweg has it. Back row hit by Heitschmidt. And it's quickly 4-2.
You and I talked about that on Saturday. One of the things that Addie Heitschmidt is very good at is hitting the ball around that 10-foot line or a little bit behind it. That was another prime example. Back row attack. She puts it down off McKinley Johnson's assist.
And it's Boulder that's going to serve for the Vikings. Good serve. Dug out nicely. Oh, and a miscommunication by Cheney there allows the ball to drop untouched. That's a rare mess there.
Yeah, we had to make the pass on that one. Normally she's a setter, and nobody else took over that second ball.
Good job by Audrey Boulder to put it in the right spot. There's another one. Set. And that's out of bounds. Vikings tie it up 4-4. So Cheney got a 3-0 run. The Vikings now have a 3-0 run. So it matches even at 4-4. Boulder doing a nice job of getting that serve deep in the back row. And there, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you just cannot put that ball up to Abby Rose. That thing looked like a big globe up there, and she just drove it home.
Yeah, she had to wait till it got over to the net, but she timed it perfectly. And the Vikings have a lead of 5-4. Good dig. Again, pretty close to the net. Kill Cummings. Good job by Vanderweg. Here comes Abby Rose. Another point for the Vikings. Vikings on a little bit of a run here. They started behind 4-1. Now they're up 6-4.
A nice pass there, and also a nice assist from McKinley Johnson again. And Rose able to go right off the block and get the point.
Boulder continuing to drop them in nicely. There's an ace by Boulder. Boulder has a 90% serving average, so she's a good server, although we just don't see her as much as we do Ramsey or McKinley Johnson. But Boulder coming through and doing a nice job. Oh, and set up nicely. Here comes Lube. Oh, they got to go to a pushover. McKinley Johnson to Heitschmidt, dumps it over. Cheney with the ball. Now it's a back row hit. Vanderweg digs it out. Oh, nice block, but Rose recovers easily. And Rose over the net again, another run point. It's a 7-0 run by the Vikings.
Yeah, that's going to lead to a timeout here from Cheney.
Well, if you were nervous about the start, you quickly got your nerves untracked with that good block by Maddie Toll. Maddie Toll started this off, and the Vikings have been playing an emotional high ever since.
Yeah, they really have. And I think the bigger key is they haven't fed off the emotion. You know, I think Cheney came in here and played off the emotion right out of the get-go. And this is not the type of game you can play off of emotion. It's best 3 out of 5. You've got to be steady all throughout the race. I think the Vikings were very calm. They paced themselves well. They've gotten back with Aubrey Boldreau back there, and she's done a phenomenal job serving. But again, you cannot put the ball across the net to Abby Rose and not expect her to put it home. She's already got 3 kills so far in the night, and 2 of those are on overpasses.
Yeah, overpasses that come out there, and that's the only difficult part about that is you got to time your jump. You don't know how quick it's coming back, but she's so aggressive at doing that. She just sees the court so well.
Yeah, she really does, and that's a lot of practice. That's a lot of times doing it.
Well, the Vikings still going now. Aubrey Boulder will see if they'll affect her serving because she had a good one going. And it did. So that timeout sometimes just does it. But a 7-0 run there gets the Vikings an 8-4 lead. 8-5 now. Here is the little gal, Klein, to serve. Dug out by Vanderweg up to Rose. And very good by Abby Rose, 9-5. It was a beautiful set for the Vikings.
It really was. They're really clicking right now. I think they're doing some nice things, but it's all starting with their first pass. They're able to put the ball where they want it. You saw in that run that Cheney did not do that. They had balls that were all over the place, and Vikings are doing a much better job on that first pass.
Rose with the steal ball on the pass. There's a back row hit, and it's in the net. 10-5. Vikings have doubled up the Cheney Cardinals. Abby Rose, even though she's a great front row player, she's also a great server. That one, and boy, they're just having a difficult time. What are the Vikings doing with those serves that are making a difference?
You know, I think Cheney's just a little tight right now. I think they're just a little bit off. They see the run happening. They're just not quite able to break it and get going, but the Smoky Valley is really playing in the zone right now.
Another one. Oh, that one got blocked. It got tipped over by number 10, Shear. And the Vikings, it came down on the Vikings side of the net. Addie Heitzman telling her coach, I just didn't get my hands down far enough to keep that from coming over the net. Number 10 serving now. That's Shearer. Good job by the Vikings. Here's Franklin with the hit. That's going to be in. Good job, boy. That was right on the corner.
Yeah, that's Franklin's first kill. That's already Johnson's 4th assist since she has come into the lineup. She's going to be checking out now. Elise Ramsey going to come in to serve, and also Maddie Toll, who you mentioned, got things going with that first initial ace block. It'd be nice to see if Maddie can get this kill here again.
Toll, Franklin, and Heitzschmidt on the front row for the Vikings in this go-around. And another one is just picked up right where she left off.
Yeah, right on cue. Toll shows up with another ace block, and she's just dominating that side of the floor. And, of course, that's the area you find the strongest hitters on the other team, and she's eating them up right now.
Ramsey, another great serve. They go down to one knee to get the ball in play. Back row hit. Ramsey digs it out nicely. Rose. The deep set's going to have to be played over. 0-2 hits.
Yeah, just kind of rolled down the fingers a little bit for Maddie there when she tried to get that ball over on kind of a free ball type look. She tried to get a good push out of it. Wasn't quite able to do that.
The turnover, I guess you call it a turnover. Those just wasn't a point you expected. Number 2 serving now, that's Lives. Dug out by Rose nicely. Here's Ramsey to Franklin. Tip, but saved by Cheney. Here comes Albers. Good job by Ramsey to play that. And here comes the near side to Addie Heitzschmidt. Saved by Cheney. And Rose digs it out. Franklin with a big hit. It goes way up into the crowd. My goodness, what a hit. 14-7.
Yeah, beautiful set by Elise Ramsey, and she's able to put the ball right over to Franklin, who was able to send it from her middle spot right to the left side, the near side of the court, for the point.
Comes Heitzschmidt to serve now. Just dumped over, but Ramsey right there. Rose goes back to get it. And Heitzschmidt with a back row hit. And the Vikings save that one. Comes Boulder. And it goes back over to the Viking side. Here comes Ramsey set for Maddie Toll. And goes down on the Cheney side. 15-7. Vikings are just playing so smart right now.
That's going to lead to the second timeout already from Cheney. Their coach is not pleased with how they're playing so far.
Well, the Vikings, after they got that first 3-0 run, Cheney did, the Vikings have had single points. It's all they've given up, so they just are not allowing them to get a run put together.
No, they're not. And I tell you, I'm really impressed with what Maddie Toll has done. She's come out with a lot of energy on that right side. She's really brought a couple of beautiful blocks, so she's in their head just a little bit. And let's be honest, volleyball is such a mental game. You know, that's where the runs come from and all that stuff. But it is a mental game. If you feel like somebody's got your number, it's a lot harder to attack the same way you usually do. No different than when Abby Rose is getting up on top and just smacking the ball down. She feels like she can do that anytime she wants.
Eddie Heitschmidt, the server now. She had that great night of serving down at Heston when they were down 24-16 and served all the way through, so we want some more of those. Good hard serve again. And there comes the hit. Dug out nicely by Abby Rose. Long hit, goes back. Cheney digs it out nicely. Here comes the middle hit. Oh, that was going to be deep, but I think we'd hit it. Maddie Toll gets it over. Back row hit. Going to drop in. Abby Rose right there. Oh, Abby just couldn't quite get to it. It was a great pushover by Cheney.
Yeah, it was a nice little roll shot by Shear. You know, she put a little top spin on it, was able to drop it down right in front of Abby Rose. She was getting to it, but she put that next pass right into the net where Elise Ramsey couldn't quite get to it.
Pipkin, the server, dug out by Rose to Ramsey. Here comes Maddie Toll, and she hit the spot. Another one where you just don't give up more than 1 point. Just single points on Cheney's side and 2 or 3 points on Smoky Valley side.
Yeah, Maddie Toll now up to 2 ace blocks and 2 kills so far, so a really good night for her to get started.
Bree Franklin now serving for the Vikings. Good job. Pushed back deep and in barely on the corner. Franklin couldn't run it down. That was absolutely on the corner.
Yeah, and that's one of those scenarios we talked about. Wee Wee's pretty good at, number one, being able to just drop it right over the net. But number two, from her setter position, she can send that ball to the deep corner, and that's exactly what she did.
And there's Wee Wee on the serve. Goes right to Eddie Heitschmidt coming over to Rose. And it's put down. 17-9.
That puts Rose up to 5 kills so far. Elise Ramsey, a nice run out there as well. We mentioned that Johnson had 4 assists when she came out. Same is true here as Ramsey coming out 4 assists.
17-9. McKinley Johnson back at the service line. Drops it in nicely. And it doesn't get over the net. Number 12, Lures, doesn't get it over the net. Vikings have doubled up again, 18-9. McKinley on her way to serve again. Great serve, dug out nicely. And that hit the net. 19-9, 10-point lead now for the Vikings. McKinley just puts that ball just inches over the net, and it just has some good spin on it. Good still movement, almost like a knuckleball in it for a pitcher. That one comes in there. Finally, a big kill by number 15, Albert. She's one of their leading attackers, and she showed why right there.
Yeah, set there by Wee Wee, back set basically for Albers, and she finally got a rhythm. She had a nice transition off the net, and she was able to really put that one down.
Albers to serve now for Cheney. Harrington gets it over. Here's McKinley. Bell Peters can hit. Bell Peters got it right back where it needs to go, 20-10. Vikings up by 10.
Yeah, Bell Peters' first kill gets us to that 20 spot. You're right.
And just another 1 point on our Cheney side on the running score. Boulder back to serve. She had a good early set of serving. Low set, put up nicely. Here comes the hit. Dug out nicely by Boulder. Rose to Heitschmidt on that 10-foot line. Boy, that's where Addie likes it. Rose knew where to set it.
Yeah, Boulder picked that one up, and then Rose ends up getting the assist on that one as well.
Excellent play by the Vikings. There's another set. Short set, that time blocked, but out of bounds. It'll be point for Cheney, 21-11.
Yeah, Lures that time did a nice job of being able to attack off the backside as a little bit of a roll out And a nice set there by number 10, Shear.
Trying to put it in as a short serve, but Boulder went down to get it. That ball.
A little bit of antenna that time. The ball actually hit the antenna before it went across, so she's a little wide on that one. Tried to bring it back and kind of curl it back in, just couldn't quite do it.
First double point since the early going for Cheney. That one goes out of bounds, so the Vikings get it right back at 22-12. Still a 10-point lead here very late in this first game.
Yeah, Cheney just looks like I said, looks a little tight. You know, that's one of the things about a best 3 out of 5 is they've got time to get that corrected, but they're going to have to find a way to play within themselves a lot smoother than what they have thus far.
Abby dumped it over the net, just barely made it over, but they got it where it needed to be. Here's McKinley, dumped it over, good job. Oh, she shouldn't have hit that one. He couldn't quite tell where she was on the court. And it's 22-13. Cheney got a point back after Vikings just let them have 1 point. Back to serve. Good dig out by Boldra. Here's Heitschmidt. That's going to be deep. 22-14, Cheney. Trying to make a little comeback. They've got 4-1 run now for them. Vikings playing it. Oh, they're going to call that a double hit on the Vikings. So,
and I don't think Coach Ramsey's going to let this go very long. As a matter of fact, she's going to go ahead and call the timeout. You don't want to get that run to
get their
continue developing.
Yeah.
You want to try to nip that in the bud and push this thing to the finish, because like I said, it's not so much this game as much as you're looking at the next few sets. The more momentum Cheney can get, the better they're going to feel. And we've already seen over the weekend a couple of the top-seeded teams in their particular substates won the first game of their substate semifinal or quarterfinal, and at least one of them, I think it might have been Rossville or they actually lost 29-27 in the second set.
Oh, wow.
That was Silver Lake. Silver Lake, the number 9 ranked team, lost to Rossville after winning the first set, but losing the second one 29-27. They were 2 points away from moving on.
Yeah.
And then lose the third set. So you've got to continue to play well, and you want to eliminate that momentum wherever you can.
Well, I noticed Hillsboro made it out of their quarterfinal too, and they lost their first 2 sets. So anything can happen in long volleyball. Good serve by Cheney. Heitschmidt, and called in. Good job by Addie. 23-15. Good timeout by Coach Ramsey.
And that's exactly the way you quell a run. You just bring it right down the line. Beautifully hit by Addie Heitschmidt. Nice set by Johnson again. And that puts the Vikings back in the driver's seat here, needing 2 points to finish off the first set.
Elise Ramsey for the Vikings to serve. Beautiful serve. Set up deep with the Vikings right there. And Franklin gets it down. It is now game point, 24-15. Would love the Vikings to close this out at 25-15, but now they'll get the pound of the clapping and going. Get this first game in the Vikings win column. Dropped it over. Good dig by Cheney. Good hit. Dug out nicely by Rose. Here's the set. Heitschmidt goes deep with it. Set by Wee Wee over to Albers. Vikings, can't handle it. And it's 24-16.
Nope.
Couldn't quite handle that one. Wasn't that hard of a hit, but just wasn't right in the right position to get it.
No, it came off the block a little bit right there on that one, so that was a nice kill by Anna Martin.
And the return by Abby Rose got too close to the net. Couldn't do anything with it. 24-17 now. Vikings certainly want to get this over here right now. Maddie Toll. Good hit by Franklin. Right down on the spot, and that'll do it. 25-17. The Vikings find the first victory. And we'll take our first timeout. Back with more volleyball after this 30-second timeout.
Smoky Valley Schools would like to honor all of our extracurricular sponsors and coaches. Coaching our young people goes well beyond just winning games. It's seeing the growth and development and teaching them to overcome difficulties to reach goals. Our coaches are helping these young men and women develop as individuals, to develop good life skills and attitudes.
Smoky Valley Chiropractic. Dr. Daryl Loader has been on the Viking sidelines since 1995. A doctor with advanced certification in both wellness and sports injury management, he is the resident expert in the Smoky Valley, helping others live long, active, healthy lives since 1995.
Writing there, you got some stats for us on that first set?
Yeah, I do. Cheney, again, kind of struggled to get their point values going there. Wee, their setter, actually their leading kill person, she had 3. Albers had 2, Shear had 1, and Lures had 1. A couple of aces from Lies and also from Albers. And for the Vikings, meanwhile, the leading kill there was Rose with 5, Franklin with 4, Heitschmidt had 3, Toll had 2, Peters had 1, Ramsey was 6 assists, Johnson was 6 assists, and then, of course, those 2 big ace blocks by Matty Toll really setting the stage for that first set.
I want to thank our sponsors that help us with our portion of the broadcast, including Harry Malaria, Smoky Valley Booster Club, Sinel Heating and Cooling, Art Shirt, Farmer State Bank, Christian's Funeral Home, Dower Welding and Machine, Bank of Tesket, Lindsberg Family Dental Care, Dr. Daryl Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, Arm Rider at CPA, Midway Motors, Gallant Tire and Auto, People's Bank and Trust, Farm Bureau, Mari Loader, Caldwell Banker Realty, Old Stuga, and Lindsberg Realty, Liz Nahodney, owner broker. Thank you for your support, and this is bonus coverage, and the Vikings certainly got off to a great start with that. Cheney got that first run, got up 4-1, but then the Vikings, other than a couple of a three-point run and a 2-point run, just never let them get any momentum. Well, they did a 7-0 run of their own to take advantage, a 10-1 run to take advantage.
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal way they played that first set, and it's been some great volleyball we've been able to see tonight. We want to thank Mike Rose for all the work that he does putting on live.smokeyvalley.org. Donnie, we're at 354 devices right now watching from around probably the state and probably even more than that. So it's really awesome for us to have so many devices watching tonight for state volleyball, and an opportunity for one of these 2 teams to make it into the Final Four. So it's a phenomenal atmosphere. You're right. A lot of Cheney fans here tonight, a lot of Viking fans here tonight, and a lot of good volleyball left to be played.
Oh, a lot of good volleyball left to be played. I'd love the Vikings to sweep it in 3, but that's probably not going to happen. As good a team as Cheney has been year in and year out. McKinley Johnson will start it off for the Vikings. Good serve deep. Set up to Wee, and coming over is Albers with the Vikings tip it and play it up nicely. Bill Peters with the hit. Goes deep, dug out nicely. Around to Albers again. Blocked by the Vikings, but saved by Cheney. It's going to go back. There's a quick one to Rose, and it's going to be
They're going to end up calling Abby in the net on that one. I think they're going to call her coming down on top of it, so that's going to be point Cheney on that one. But she definitely delivered some presence on that one, so she's setting the stage for something bigger later.
Yeah, they just take it in stride, keep right on going. Good dig by Cheney. Here comes Bill Peters. Got it dig. And dug out by Cheney as Rose hits it over. Miscommunication, but they saved it. Almost a point for the Vikings. Deep shot, but saved nicely by Cheney. Here comes Albers with a hit. It's going to go right on the line. So the Vikings thought that was going to be deep, and it went on the line for a 2-0 lead by Cheney.
I think the intensity is jacked up just a little bit more right now. You see both teams flying all over the court to make plays.
Oh, that was our point. I missed that. What did I miss?
Yeah, it was a little deep.
Left-handed hit. And Heitschmidt with a good drive. My bad. 2-1 Vikings.
So a nice little run again for the Vikings here. After getting down 1-0, they pick up those next 2 points. It's definitely, like I said, we're starting to see that intensity ramp up a little bit, and players are going to need to make sure they remain on an even keel throughout here.
Yeah, we like those players like Bree Franklin, who just doesn't get very high on a great play and doesn't get very low on a poor one. Cheney gets it over. But they needed some help. Set up over, and Cheney has to play it from deep. And in the net again, Cheney. So another point, Vikings. To get those cheap points, I'm not watching because I'm watching the ball, and I didn't see that one. 2 was in the net. Boulder with another good serve. Wee to pick it up. Here comes the left-handed hit. Oh, and what a nice little hit by a left-handed. Boy, they just found an open spot. The Vikings weren't ready for that one.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we talked to some of the girls about today, and they said that was one of the things they worried about a little bit, was that ability of Cheney to get that roll shot and drop it right over, and that's exactly what they were really good at that time from Shear.
Alvarez can't get it over the net, though. The Vikings get it right back at 4-2. And Franklin in for Haxton. And on the other side, 8 coming in. That is Geegan coming in to serve. No, coming in back row. Abby Rose will serve for the Vikings. Good deep serve, rolls up the body a little bit. A good block by Heitschmidt. We're going to call 2 hits. Vikings up 5-2. That's a 4-1 run now for the Vikings to kind of take a little early command here. Rose, deep hit. Well, they're just putting it so deep. Oh, boy, that just got tipped over. Franklin couldn't get the block and get it down, and it rolled on the top of the net and came over on the Viking side for a Cheney point.
Another roll shot. Again, I think that's going to be something you're going to see a little bit more of, trying to get it right over the top of the blocks or right around the blocks.
Dug out nicely by Boldra. Comes to Heitschmidt, but blocked by number 10, or did it get over the net? I'm not sure it got over the net, but Shear right there probably gets credit for the ace block.
Yeah, I think she was on that. I think I'm going to give her that one because I think she was right on top of that. I think she got a hand on it and put it back down.
Boulder with a nice dig. McKinley Johnson, 2 rows, who gets it over easily. Back on the backside, another left-handed shot. Saved nicely by the Vikings. Tipped it over by Franklin. And good job by Heitschmidt to be there. Back row to Bell Peters. And it's right on the line. Vikings get it back at 6-4.
Yeah, nice shot by Bell Peters right there. And she did exactly what you said. She went right down the line with it because the block was there on the cross. They're going to try to force the Vikings, I think, to hit that line more and more as this match progresses and really limit the scope of where they can hit the ball.
Substitution gets Elise Ramsey into the back row to serve. Set over. Ramsey there to take it. Here's Abby Rose to Heitschmidt. Doesn't get over the net. Point Cheney. On the court for the Vikings now is Franklin, Ramsey, Heitschmidt, Rose, Toll, and Boldra. Serving for Cheney is number 10, Shear. And it doesn't get over the net. Trading points now both ways, goes back to 7-5. Vikings lead. Heitschmidt will now serve. Go ahead.
Unforced errors. You don't want to have those.
Yeah, and you're qualifying, trying to qualify for the Final Four. You don't want to net serve. Going over. Boulder with this. Franklin with the tip over. Good job by Bree Franklin recognizing an empty spot there on the baseline corner. And just put it over the net. Perfect shot.
She was so good at that little wash shot over the weekend, and that was another example. Brought the double block in and then pushed it right to the right.
Heitschmidt with a great serve. They had to play it. It was going to be right on the line, it looked like. Good shot. Heitschmidt tipped over, but the Vikings save it. And
they're going to call a back row attack there on Elise Ramsey. She tried her darndest to pull that ball out of the net, but once her arm makes contact with that ball above the net and she tries to attack, then that's going to be a back row attack.
You got me on that. I'm limited on my knowledge of rules, so thank you for covering for me. Service coming by Cheney. Oh, very good job. Here comes Franklin. Good hit, but dug out nicely. And the ball came right over it. It was easy put down for Geegan. Or number 18, I mean, that was Pipkin. 7-8. Cheney's hanging around in this one. They're getting some two-point rallies instead of one-point rallies. Ramsey to set for Boulder, and it's going to be out. tie game, the first 3-point run since the start of the first set of the first match.
That was really close to a touch on that back line from Lies. She started to reach for it and pulled back at the last second, so it was close.
Very close. That one is going to be close to the back row, too. Here's Toll going to drop it in. Played nicely by Cheney, but Rose right there to save it for the Vikings. Boulder puts it over. Albers comes in, and Maddie Toll again.
Along that net, this is Maddie Toll's house tonight, and you got to go through her, and right now she's not allowing much to come through.
Bree Franklin back at the service line. Great serve. Long hit. Good save by Heitschmidt to Rose. Ding it over, but Rose digs it out. Back over to Boulder, who's going to go to the empty spot. Boy, the Vikings have good court awareness. I don't know if I can't hear anything, of course, with my headset on, but does the coach yell that out, or is that just something you got to recognize?
No, that's more recognition than anything else. I tell you, they're just kind of looking at that, and you want to try to mix it up, but Boulder realized that everybody was pulling back to the strong side over here for the hit, and she just drops that ball right across the net. That's where you just got to kind of mix and match the game a little bit.
Good service by Franklin, dug out nicely. That one's going to come over on the Viking side, tipped over, and Cheney in the net. Number 4 in the net, that's a young sophomore, I believe she is. Haig is a sophomore, and that gives the Vikings a 3-0 run. Answering Cheney's 3-0 run. Beautiful serve. That one was good by Rose. Another, is this Thanksgiving? I think I'll take the drumstick.
That's going to lead to another Cheney timeout, and I know Coach Walkup is not pleased with how her players have responded tonight. I think she really felt like, especially once she got that first timeout in the first set, that they were going to settle down and kind of calm down a little bit, but the runs tonight have all seemed to be Smoky Valley driven. Cheney's been able to catch up on a couple occasions, but it feels like they're always playing from behind. And that's a difficult spot to be in when you're playing in a match of this caliber.
Yeah, and this caliber with a trip to the Final Four of the state. This is the first round of the 3A state quarterfinals, and it is so nice to have this at your home court. You know, you'd be a lot more nervous if you were playing in the big Hutchison Sports Arena. So you know this is a very good job here the Vikings are doing, having this match at home.
Yeah, they're having a match at home, and how great is it to see our student section over there? I mean, that really adds a lot to it, as well as you know, just having this many parents and people in attendance. It's so nice. I can't stress enough how great it is to have athletics and to be at this stage right now and have the opportunity to play a game like this.
What a turnaround this Viking program has had in the last 3 years, no question about that. Franklin serve goes deep. They got to play it way deep, and they just got to get it over the net. Here's Franklin to Ramsey. 2 Rose, block, but Ramsey right there to dig it out, Franklin. And now to Boulder, and she finds the spot. Boulder gets it in for the Vikings' 13th point. It's now a 5-0 run by the Vikings. They got a point out of the timeout. I love to see that when the other coach calls a timeout, and then you get the point after that. That really makes you feel good. Franklin, that one's going to be too deep. Filled it up too much, and then Franklin puts it over the back row, but I still like that aggressive serving.
I love the aggressive serving. You're up, you've got to go after him. And at least 2 of the 3 timeouts, we've gotten the point coming out after the timeout. Not only that, you get Bree Franklin getting the assist on that kill as well.
Pipkin, the server. Paxton, the dig. Maddie Toll, the hit. Perfect job. Well, you talk about rhythm a lot, and it makes a lot of difference. The Vikings' rhythm is so good right now.
Yeah, it really is. I think they're moving the ball well. They're mixing up their hitters nicely. But, you know, again, sometimes we talk all about the big hits and the big kills and the assists that get them there. But I tell you, one of the unsung heroes in the back row so far has been Carrington Haxton. She's passed the ball extremely well for them. She continues to just bring it and do what she's supposed to do.
Here comes a set by Cheney. Good dig by Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt with the big hit, partially blocked and saved by Cheney. They got to hurry to get it over, and they can't. That's the sophomore Haig. Didn't get that where she wanted it. She right away hit her chest and said, it's my fault, but that gives the Vikings 15 points now, 15-9 lead. McKinley Johnson on the serve. Low serve, got it over and dug out. It's still playable. Vikings get it. Haxton to McKinley Johnson to Boulder. And Boulder puts it down. Boy, you know, we talk about we got a three-headed monster. I think we got about a six-headed monster that can hit the ball and spike the ball from wherever.
I tell you, our ladies are on tonight. They're hitting the ball well, and again, just moving well. I think the team is just responding so well to what's going on.
McKinley Johnson, deep serve again. Cheney's got to go in almost in the crowd to get it. Now they get it over. Carrington to McKinley to Abby Rose, and it's about that one didn't go a passing error, which is pretty rare. Makes it 16-10. Cheney with the point.
Yeah, it took him a little too far to the outside there. A good attempt to try to bring it back in, but not able to do it before Abby Rose hit the net.
You talked about her ability. Well, there was some ability by Carrington Haxton, and they watched the ball over that time, but the Vikings just couldn't quite. Good effort by Boulder.
That's a nice play there by Shear, bringing that ball. She wasn't that far in, but she just pushes it right to the line.
Abby Heitzman as the ball goes out of bounds, so little rare error, a couple rare mistakes by the Vikings lead to a 3-0 run by Cheney. 16-12, still a 4-point Viking lead. Wee the server. Haxton with the dig. McKinley Johnson back to Haxton, gets it over. Dug out nicely. Wee with the set to Albers. It's going to be out. 17 for the Vikings, 12 for the Cardinal. Boulder back at the back line to serve. Vikings with a 5-point lead here. Mid-late, and that one's going to go out of bounds. The Vikings give it right back to Cheney at 17-13.
Yeah, it's still back and forth. I just still feel like Cheney keeps getting just a little bit far behind, and they're just not able to overcome that when you always start behind, being able to push yourself back to the front. And they're really going to need to be able to step that up.
Yeah, that 8-1 run propelled the Vikings to their lead they have here, but Cheney's trying to fight and claw back. Here's Heitzschmidt. Beautiful kill, but they're going to keep it in play. Great job by Cheney to keep that in play. There's another Abby Rose kill, and that one hits the ground. They had it blocked, but they couldn't find it, or miscommunication, one or the other. Carrington Haxton out and Franklin in for Abby Rose to serve at 18-13. Rose, good serve, goes up the arms. Cheney able to keep it alive, and they get it back over the net. Up to McKinley Johnson, to Heitzschmidt. Oh, blocked out of bounds. Good job, Vikings get the point. But barely got it, but the block went out of bounds. Another timeout, Cheney. Coach realizing it's getting late now. It's at 19 points, 19-13. And the Vikings, they know they got to keep the momentum off the Viking side, but Mr. Momentum's on their back pretty good.
Yeah, it really is. I tell you, when you're playing as well as Smoky Valley's playing right now, it literally feels like there's not much you can do wrong. And I think right now you're seeing that. They're mixing the ball up. They're hitting the ball off the blocks. They're doing everything the way they want to do it here in this match. And I just really believe that they're getting the opportunities they want to get and just playing some really strong volleyball.
Does this mean that we'll play this team in the quarterfinals? Will we play Goodland? I mean, is that the way the bracket's set up, or do you know?
I would guess that once you come out of this, they're going to, well, it'll still be a round robin.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's how they'll play out, or if they're going to configure that with the actual records along the way or not.
Goodland, Sabetha, and Pomona West Franklin have already qualified for the Final Four. The Vikings playing tonight to see who the fourth member is for that Final Four. Abby Rose to serve, and it's a deep serve. Good timeout by Coach. Walk up, 19-14. Klein to serve for Cheney. Boulder to McKinley to Franklin, but they get it over the net. Boulder with a nice dig to Heitzschmidt. And the Vikings get it as the pass from Wee went too long. Gets the Vikings to 20 points. Ramsey coming in to serve.
Now Peters ends up getting the assist on that one after a hustle play to be able to get to the ball. And then Heichman able to drive it home. And earlier than that, Martin had a really nice pickup for Cheney as well. They just couldn't overcome that last hit.
Ramsey service ace. Nope. Looks so good. Rose right there on the back row. Here's Ramsey to Franklin. And it goes into the crowd. Ooh, goodness sakes. Somebody giving all-out effort. That was number 10. Good effort by Shear. But the Vikings get the point at 21.
Yeah, Shear sold out. That just lets you know just how important these matches are. She was going to go right into the table to get that ball. And now you're looking at a 7-point Viking lead here in this second set.
At 21-14 football score up there. Ramsey, good serve, goes deep. Good set by Cheney. Good dig out by Rose. Franklin gets it deep. Played good by Cheney. Here comes a left-handed hit. Shear's a nice player.
She is. She's a nice lefty. I tell you, she does a really nice job back from this area. Wee sets her up, and for her ability to come off what we call the weak side over here and swing down with that left hand, that's such a solid hit.
21-15, 6-point Viking lead. Good dig by Boldra. The pass by Boldra got it too close to the net. At 21-16 now. Vikings couldn't handle it.
Little hesitation there, you know. You don't want to see that hesitation. At least thought maybe Bree might get that for just a split second and then continue to try to get it herself. And you just don't want to see that hesitation at this stage.
Rose digs it out nicely to Ramsey. To Heichman. Going to be deep. Vikings got to calm down now. 21-17 our score. Little 3-0 run here by Cheney. Good dig by Boldra to Franklin, rolled over. But Cheney played it goodly. Oh, they made a mistake on the pass. And the Vikings get a point there at 22 now, 22-17. That was a big point there. The sophomore again, they're kind of I don't know if they're picking on Haig.
Well, I don't think it's picking on her so much. The ball was placed over there a ways. I don't know if Haig didn't think she needed to get it or not, but just a little confusion on behalf of Cheney at times.
Confusion, hesitation. Oh, wow, here comes Vikings tip it down. The pass came up to the net, and the Vikings were there. I don't know, you give it to Boldra or you give it to Franklin?
Yeah, I think it was Boldra that went up and got that, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it was Boldra on that one, so I'm going to give it to her.
Heichman to serve. Good drop serve. And ball in there. Good job by the Vikings to get it over the net, but spiking the ball is number 5. We haven't called her name. You mentioned her name a couple of times. Martin gets it in there. And it's 23-18. Vikings still up by 5. Cheney serving in the person of Lies. And she can't get it over the net. It's now game point for the Vikings at 24-18. And Franklin will get the serve. Serving for match 2. You got to win 3. So this isn't a normal night. This would be a sweep, but you got to win 3. Dug out nicely, but they have to get it over soft. Here come the Vikings with a chance for a kill. Dump it over, and in, and game. 25-18. The Vikings win set 2, or game 2, in this best-of-5 match, and we'll take a timeout. Timeout with the Vikings leading 2-0. Back after this 30-second timeout.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Bank of Tuscan. Come see us for all your home loan needs in the Smoky Valley, including construction loans at Stockholm Estates. Equal housing lender, NMLS 403648. Member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tuscan.
Auburn Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy. Located at 216 North Harrison Street. Proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Vikings are certainly taking care of business. What do you got for stats?
Statistically, on that particular set, Shear led the way for Cheney with 3 kills. Martin behind with 2. Also had 3 assists from Wee in that one as well. For the Vikings, I tell you, what an awesome play. Boldra had no kills in set 1. Just 4 of the kills there in the second set. Rose added 3, Heitschmidt added 3, Franklin with 2, Peters and Toll both had 1. 5 assists again for both Ramsey and Johnson. That brings them to 11 assists each for the match. And then again, Maddie Toll made her appearance felt again with another ace block early in that set. And again, just really, really making it difficult for Cheney to be able to get the kills they're looking for.
It was a back and forth match. Cheney Vikings got off early to a 5-2 lead, and then it was 8-8 before the Vikings went on that 8-0, 8-1 run to get that separation, get that 6-point separation, and they end up winning by 7. So that was the run that got them going, and it was just, it's almost like you have to have that run in this magnitude of a game to get a little separation, and then they just basically traded traded points back and forth after that. But that one run, 2 games now, 2 wins, they've had some pretty good runs in.
I tell you, after playing the teams they did over the weekend, you know, like Wichita Trinity and who else did they play at theirs?
Well, they played Halstead and Haven. So
Halstead and Haven, but that Wichita Trinity game, that was a heck of a battle. It ends up going 3 sets, and they win the last one there 25-14, I think, kind of put it away late. We haven't seen that yet from Cheney, and I think it's still in there. The question is whether or not they can find it soon enough to be able to make that play. And on the other side, the Vikings, they couldn't ask for anything better. They've gotten off to a 2-0 lead at home. They've played phenomenal volleyball, only a couple of hiccups along the way. Otherwise, pretty good match.
We will start the serve for the Cheney Cardinals. Here's Maddie Toll. Maddie Toll gets the ace, or gets the kill, and the Vikings start out 1-0.
Maddie has really played a great match tonight. You know, there's been some nights where it's kind of been the Franklin and Rose show. They just kind of get things going. And Heitschmidt, and Maddie kind of gets off on that right side, but they've gone to her early, and she's really responded.
That's what I mean. We got more of a 4 or 5-headed monster here. There's a nice shot by the left-hander Shear again. He's kind of been their top player tonight.
Yeah, that's one of the things I expected to see a little bit more, and I don't know if you recognize that. That wasn't actually what we would call a one hit, which is on the farthest side of the net. The net's kind of numbered across the way, all the way back here to 9. She actually hit that from about a 3 spot, so she actually hit it a little bit further in. It gets the blockers a little out of kilter, and she brought that one beautifully.
So 1-1, Cheney's serving again in the person of Geegan. Gets it over back row serve right on the line. Good ace serve by Cheney. 2-1 lead by the Cardinals.
Yeah, nice serve right there on the line. Beautifully done. Like you said, that's Geegan back there who served that one, and she's been coming in playing some back row for the Cheney Cardinals. I think that might be her first serve as well.
Vikings get it over, but have to go deep with it. Don't get it where they want it. And that one's going to be out. No, that one's going to be in. So 2 line shots in a row now by Cheney. Vikings have opted to let those 2 shots go, and it's come back to haunt them a little bit. Down 3-1 now early. Geegan to serve again. Little hop skip and into the net. Makes it 3-2. We'll take that every time.
Yeah, I think you've seen a little bit more of that, a little of that tightness from Cheney throughout the night. Even though, again, they're off to a nice start. They've had a couple of those starts so far and haven't been able to maintain it.
Older to get it in. Good job. Here comes the spike, but it hasn't very hard. Here comes Belle Peters, and Belle Peters finds the spot. Belle with a nice kill gets it down to 3-3.
Yeah, that's Peters' 3rd kill of the night right there, and another one from the right side. Again, they seem to be attacking that side a lot tonight. The Vikings are doing a nice job with it.
Boulder again at the service. She's been doing a great job. Cheney has it a little bit deep, and that one's out. So the Vikings on the 3-0 run of their own now to take a 1-point lead.
Yeah, good attempt by Martin there. You know, she's not one of their top hitters. She's got 102. She's probably their 3rd highest, but she's attacking well and just unfortunately hitting a little wide.
Boulder again with a 1-point Viking lead. Oh, what an ace serve. Just barely over the net and had a little spin on it to give the Vikings a 5-3 lead.
We haven't seen a lot of aces tonight, but Boulder has both of them for the Vikings so far. There have been a few that have put teams on their heels, but she's been the one that's put them in there the best.
Kind of knuckleballs a little bit. There's a sweep over, and the Vikings can't handle it. Addie Heitschmidt got her hand on it, but couldn't control it enough. And that goes back to Cheney now at 5-4, Viking lead.
Again, that's that advantage of having that setter in the front row. Shear goes up, looks like she's going to set. Instead uses that left hand to dump it. That's her third kill so far just of this game.
Dug out nicely by Haxon, but Hatchmet gets it over. And then Rose tips it over. Cheney digs it out. They got to go over on the soft shot. Up to Franklin. Or not to Franklin, to Belle Peters. McKinley Johnson with another great set. 6-4 Viking lead. Abby Rose to step to the back row to serve for the Vikings with Franklin, Peters, and Heichschmidt on the front row. Just barely dropping it over. They have to go down. There's a sweep, but they get it, played it well. Back to Heichschmidt, blocked, and out of bounds. Good effort by, I don't know if that was Shear or Pimpkin, but they got it back over.
Yeah, either way, they were both there for the double, and they did a nice job. Good effort by Bolger to try to dig that back up, but it goes back over the net and out of bounds.
And Shear with that left-handed serve is giving the Vikings little fits. Good dig by Bolger. Peters with a good hit, and good effort by Cheney to try to get it, but the Vikings get back.
Yeah, Peters able to hit the ball off the block right there and did just such a nice job of being able to send it out of bounds off that block. And a lot of times, if you can't get around the block or you can't get through the block, you want to try to send it off the side of the arm and head it in a different direction.
Ramsey going deep. Copeland with the set. Blocked. Dug out nicely by Cheney. Ramsey to dig that one out. Here's Rose to Maddie Toll. Right on the line. Maddie Toll. Maddie Toll seems to come at the right space at the right time to get the Vikings a little bit of momentum. Give them a 3-point lead at 8-5.
Love that responsiveness, too. Setter was out because she had to make the first pass. Abby Rose just jumps right in there, sets it up, and allows Toll to get the kill.
Well, just barely dropping that over the net. Shearer coming in with a hit, but Abby Rose digs it out nicely to Franklin. Another low dig. Good job by Maddie Toll, but it goes out of bounds. So she couldn't quite get it set where she wanted to. And nobody can get any separation yet early. It's 8-6.
Say the way that ball was hit, if Maddie doesn't get a hand on it, it's going to be in anyway. So
Yeah.
Good response, just isn't able to keep the ball in play.
Oh, Rose can't handle that. There's an ace serve by Geegan. I think that was Geegan, or was that two? That was two. That was live. So 8-7 now. Vikings have won the first two games. Game 3 of a 5-game best-of-5. Oh, and Franklin can't get it over the net. And it's now 8-8. Just exactly what it was in the last match at 8-8. Then the Vikings went on their run. Boulder gets a dig. Ramsey. And dropping it in is Rose. Comes Cheney, and Cheney takes her first lead in a long, long time.
And that's the first Albers appearance we've seen in quite a while. I don't think she had a kill in that second set, and now that's her first kill in this set. So again, she is their top kill player so far this season, and she has not done a whole lot yet tonight.
Rose gets it up, gets to Franklin. Vikings keep it alive, get it over. Cheney keeps it alive. Vikings now have a chance for a good set, and they just dump it over. Here's Albers, dug out nicely by Boulder. Here's Ramsey, and tip it in, Franklin. I don't know if that was played exactly like they wanted it, but the Vikings come away with a point. At 9-all.
At some points, you'd rather be lucky than good.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of those. That ball almost came off Elisa's hands a little awkwardly there, but it was a nice end-up set and assist, and then a kill for Franklin.
Heichschmidt. Cheney gets it over. Vikings. Ramsey sets it up to Heichschmidt. Dug out nicely by Cheney. Dug out nicely by Rose, and can't handle it. Dug out nicely, but the pass went too close to the net. Lead goes back to Cheney at 10-9. Pipkin now back to serve for the Cardinals, which they have a nice crowd here tonight, too.
They really do. Good response for a state game.
Tip over to Franklin. Big hit. Dug out nicely, though, by Cheney. Push up and Albers. But there's an ace block again by Maddie Toll. We talked about her wanting to get the Vikings fired up. And she's been answering the call each time.
Whose house? Maddie's house tonight.
Yeah,
she is all over the place. And again, she's taking away one of their best hitters over there and really causing her fits.
Wee back in and Haig out. The Vikings serving at 10-10 with a 2-0 lead. They've got to win the third game. Deep shot, and that goes out. So the Vikings can't get a run put together yet. Haxton in, Franklin out. Normal rotation. Haxton, Heitschmidt, and Boulder on the back line for the Vikings. Ramsey, Rose, and Toll on the front line. Dug out. Ramsey with the 2 Toll. And it hits. Oh, my goodness. They get it over. There's Ramsey to Rose. Oh, nice block by Cheney on Abby Rose. You don't see that every day.
No, you don't. Albers was there, and I'm going to give her that ace block, but both players there, 15, Albers and number 12, Lures, were both there, and they get that block. It's right down, and another point for Cheney.
Haxton to Ramsey, to Toll. They get it. Cheney's doing a good job of making it work. Ramsey to Haxton, to Boulder, and in the net.
I think they're going to call a double hit over there on behalf of Carrington Haxton. You can see Shear went down on that play. It looked like she stepped on a foot, and unfortunately steps on a foot on a play where it was really a dead play, but definitely came down, rolls an ankle. That could be a major, major impact on the remainder of this match. She's going to try to walk it off a little bit here, but again, it's kind of a beneficial break for the Vikings because of the simple standpoint that, a little bit of a run by Cheney here as they're kind of picking it up, and they've really pushed themselves out to a 3-point lead. I tell you, Shear's going to try to give it a go. There is a time limit for what they can check on her and make sure she's okay, and the official was looking at that time, but she wants to give it a go.
She's been their best player,
she really has.
so far in the first 2.5 matches. Wee to serve it. Haxton with a good dig. Toll with another hit. And this one comes down on the Vikings point side, so it's 13-11. Vikings find themselves down 3 points here midway through the third match.
That's 3 kills for Toll here in this game and another ace block in this game. So she's been pretty successful for the Vikings despite the fact that they trail by 2.
McKinley Johnson to put the serve in play does nicely. And they don't get it set up the way they want it, of course. There's another Abby Rose kill, but they don't get it set up the way they want it. Vikings keep it alive. And the Vikings get another play. Good job by the Vikings. Abby Rose and Albers went at the net together, and it turned out to be in the Vikings' favor.
Yeah, that was an excellent attack right there. Lures and Rose went right at it, and Rose ends up coming out winning that one.
Good serve by Johnson again. Blocked by the Vikings. Vikings keep it alive. McKinley. Now you got to get it over, and they do. Wee sets it up. Short setup. Good job by Haxton to keep that one alive. Here comes the back row kill by Heitschmidt. And good job by Boldra. Albers gets it up deep. Oh. McKinley that time had Heitschmidt right behind her. She didn't know it. She just tried to keep it alive. Oh, we get the point. What happened?
Yeah, they're going to call a double hit there. That was kind of an interesting look. I didn't see it, but we'll definitely take it.
13-13, so a break for the Vikings that way. Comes Shearer. Shearer knocks it back over, so she looks like she's weathered the storm of having that ankle hit. Good deep hit by Toll. Coming across. Vikings. Good job by McKinley Johnson. Oh, Heitschmidt can't hit it.
That's one of the rare occasions where Addie doesn't make a play from behind the 10-foot line. She's probably the most reliable, I think, from back there. And a great save by McKinley Johnson pulling that back up. But you're right. I'm surprised. Shear looked like she was in a lot of pain for the first 2 or 3 points. But she's slowly starting to work that out. But I know it's got to be tightening up a little bit on her.
Oh, after the next game, it'll be sore, no question. Vikings got to get it over the net, and Heitschmidt does. Good hit from that deep, almost to the back line. And Vikings give up a point at 15-13, so a 2-point lead now for Cheney. I keep looking at the clock and want to say it's late, only 3 minutes remaining, but we're not in basketball. The clock never moves.
Yeah, really nice play by Cheney there. They're really playing much more in what do you want to say, increased intensity here down the stretch.
And that serve goes out of bounds. It's 14 for the Vikings, 15 for the Cheney Cardinal. And the Vikings are certainly looking worthy of their state ranking. Boulder now to serve. She's had a good job. She had a good serve early. Deep serve. Tip it over by Cheney. Vikings play it. Up to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt with the second hit. And they have to get it over and do. Paxton to Johnson to Peters. Peters back over the net. You can hit it after you get it blocked. As he did. There's Shear. Shear looking every bit as good as she was earlier. 2 point or 1 point.
Yeah, I think a little bit of frustration there on behalf of Cheney. I think they didn't think that one was touched on the double hit by the Vikings, but they played through it and got the point.
McKinley Johnson setting up for Abby Rose. Ball gets blocked. Good job by Heitschmidt to keep it alive. Here's Maddie Toll. Good job by Cheney. You can see why these teams are both state ranked. Haxton, good hit, but dug out nice by Wee Wee. There's a long hit that's going to be out. Good job by the Vikings, 16-15.
Now, this is what you expect in the third set. Yeah, backs against the wall. This is what you kind of expect Cheney to do. And again, if you're Shear, you're not going to sit out just because you rolled an ankle a little bit ago. You're going to play to the end because this might be the only opportunity that you get for a senior of her caliber. She wants to keep playing. She wants to keep digging.
Rose go back row and serve now for the Vikings. Vikings serving has been top-notch. Coming around, good job, Rose. Can't handle it. Good hit by Pipkin. And it's 17-15.
Yeah, beautiful wraparound hit there by Pipkin as she comes around the outside. The assist, of course, going to Shear on that one as well. And beautifully played, and that puts them back up by 2.
Shear back to serve again. Doing an excellent job. And goes to Cheney way, 18-15. Biggest lead late for Cheney. Cheney has been down by almost double digits at this state in the first 2 games. Oh, my goodness. That's one of those lucky breaks.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a timeout on behalf of the Vikings here. That was a tough play. And again, Cheney has responded. They have come back after struggling. And the first 2 sets, they've really bounced back. 19-15 lead here and playing some inspired volleyball with a lot of great hustle plays.
It was 13-13 when they started serving, and they got the point, and the Vikings got a couple of points inside of there, but it's a 6-2 run to open up this 4-point lead, and it's getting late in the match, so good timeout by Coach Ramsey not to get too far behind, but you can see them come back, and they just love nothing more than to win this in 3 sets.
Yeah, obviously we want to win it in 3 sets, but you got to continue to keep your young ladies on an even keel here. Don't get too stressed out and push too hard to try to win this one. Just, consistently saying something about it. You want to get through it. If you win it, great. If you don't, you got to play that next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Here now, their left-handed serve has kind of been giving the Vikings a little fits as of late. Good job, Vikings. Get it over the net. Shear gets it up to Haig. And another hit by number 5, Martin. That goes off the Vikings, so they're the first ones to 20 this game.
Yeah, Martin's kind of come to life here in these last couple of sets. She had 3 kills in the second set. That's her first one here in the third set.
Shear has been going for this. Oh, good job. Good choice by Boulder to let that one go.
That was close. She wanted to reach up for it, realized how high it was and how hot it was coming in, pulled those hands down and got them out of the way, so that's going to be point Vikings. Now Elise Ramsey comes in for an opportunity for the Vikings. Kind of get a run going right here and kind of quell the momentum of Cheney.
Down 4, 16-20. Ramsey, good serve deep. Haig with the set to Pipkin. Good job by Rose to get the ball out. Ramsey gets it over and not in the right spot. Point goes right back to Cheney at 21-16.
Yeah, that one just got a little tight over there. Not going to be able to make a play on that one. But, again, Now it's the Vikings that are just able to get 1 point and then give the ball right back, and that's not been the MO tonight until this particular set.
Lies to serve for Cheney. Boulder with a dig. Rose, wow, from the back row. You can do that if you stay behind the 10-foot line, is that right?
You can, as long as you're behind the 10-foot line. If you're a back row attacker, you can make that. Again, you can jump across that line as long as you leave from behind it. That was a beautiful set by Ramsey to Rose, and again, puts the Vikings back within striking distance.
Heitschmidt now. Put the ball in play, up to the front row to Wee Wee. Here comes Albers, and the Viking block by Matty Toll. 18-21.
Matty's made the big plays in the first 2 sets, and that's a huge play right there, putting the Vikings back to within 3.
Come Heitschmidt. Oh, Heitschmidt didn't get it over the net. Rare. Boy, Viking, is that maybe the first net serve we've had?
We've had a couple, but most of them been off attacks. We've tried to attack really, really well and go after it. And on this one, again, you're at a point where you want to put every ball in play. You still want to be in attack mode, but you got to put the ball in play.
Vanderweg in for Heitschmidt, the libero. Neither team playing their libero very much. Pipkin to serve for Cheney, and she serves it out. So the good job. Vikings get it back at 22-19 now. Getting down to the nail-biting stretch here at 22-19.
Yeah, it's a real nail-biter if you keep missing serves, too, because those just give really easy points back and forth.
Franklin back there to serve for Smoky Valley. Good deep serve, dug out nicely. Wee Wee with the set to Albers. Tipped, and the Vikings can't get there. Just can't get to the right spot, 23-19. Cheney, you're right, it's just going back and forth. The Vikings got a couple of points, but then give it right back. Wee Wee to back to serve. Haxton with a good dig over to Matty Toll. Block. Oh, good job. That was at the net. That was Lacey Lears. She blocked it, but the Vikings, she came right back, and then she hit it and went right down to give the point to the Vikings.
Yeah, they're going to get a kill there from Carrington Haxton, and probably not the kill that she was looking for. That ball snuck over the net, and you're right at the net there was number 12, Lures. She pins the ball in the net and just can't get it dug back out.
McKinley Johnson now serving at 20-23. Vikings down by 3. Wee Wee makes a good job of that. Off the sheer, good job by Vanderweg. Comes a hit by Boulder, getting it into the spot that nobody's at. 21-23. Aubrey Boulder with a good look at the court.
Yeah, Boulder's first kill in this set, and she brings it beautifully right down that line again. That's going to lead to a Cheney timeout, but that's the second time she's gone right along the edge of the net and just dropped it right over to the open spot.
Yeah, she's got good court awareness, no question about that. She saw where she needed to go with that. And coming from this side, because the ball was over here, she could push it that way really easily.
Yeah, that's kind of a no man's land right there. It's a tough shot, but you just got to be able to put it right over that edge of the net and drop that as close to that line as you can. And on both occasions, she executed it perfectly to the open spot. No Cheney player. And again, that backside player is pulling off for that cross-court hit. That spot's going to be open.
Yeah, it is open, and you just couldn't recover in time. So Vikings with a little momentum, and that was sensed by Coach Walkup of the Cheney Cardinals, so she called a timeout. Now was that her first or second?
That's her first. Both teams will have one left, so I expect you might easily see those get used here pretty quickly.
McKinley Johnson, the Vikings' best server back there at the back line. Good job. Have to come up and play it maybe not the way you wanted to. Good job by McKinley. Here's Belle Peters going deep with the pushover. Wee Wee over to Albers. Good job by Carrington Haxton. And a good job by Abby Rose! Abby saw a little gap and was able to, you call that a wash, able to wash it over. McKinley doing a good job of keeping it in play. A 1-point ball game. Good serve by McKinley again. Wee Wee is over, not where she wanted it. Vikings have a good chance here. Boulder, good dig by Klein. Albers, and that's going to be way deep. Tie the game up at 23-all. It's a 4-0 run by the Vikings and another timeout by Cheney.
What a great job of battling back by Smoky Valley. I believe at one point in time down 23-19. They have just come back and stormed back into this tie. And let's be honest, right now, it's just a matter of whoever wins by 2.
Yeah.
Because you're 2 points away from that 25. You know, this thing can go all night. We can be looking at 38-36 or 40-38. It's going to be nip and tuck. Mistakes are going to be essential. You can't make a mistake at this stage and get away with it because this is game time right now.
Well, the Vikings have had a lot of matches where they've won. They've gone up 27-29 and 28-26, and so it's not uncharted waters by any means.
No, it's not. You expect to have a few games like this along the way. You don't necessarily always expect it to be the game before you go to the finals of the state tournament. So we'll see how this plays out here. Of course, McKinley Johnson been serving the ball well.
McKinley at the back line. Goes deep to Cheney, back to Shear. Can't get it where she wants it. Carrington to Boulder. Boulder with a hit. Dug out nicely by Cheney. Wee over to Shear. And it's tipped and a point Cheney. Well, they stopped that 4-0 run, but it wasn't easy. Shear just didn't have much on it, but the Vikings couldn't get a good job. Couldn't block it well either.
No, but it was great placement. That's that area that's open in that back corner, the way that rotation works. And she placed it exactly where she wanted to. And, of course, now with 1 point before the game being over, Coach Ramsey makes the decision to take that timeout too. But that cross play right there by Shear, that's a senior making a big play at a big time, and an injured senior. Like I said, you might as well just say she didn't even have an injury now because she's playing through all that. It was a really impressive play, and if you looked at that, on the last 2 hits, they went to Shear. She's their go-to right now, and they're going to bring it to her, and I would expect if they get a pass back from Smoky Valley on this one and pick it up, I think you could easily see Shear get this next one as well.
Yeah, with Alberts being their main hitter, the one that's done the best all year long, it's just funny that they go to this other Shear, but she certainly has been a senior playing on maybe her last match.
We've both been very impressed with what she's done tonight. I'll tell you, she's also got 217 digs on the year, also 76 assists for them as well coming in.
Egan to serve for the match. Boulder to McKinley, 2 rows, and it's saved by, barely saved, but there's Shear again. Good dig by McKinley, and the ball rolls across the net. Who can get to it? Cheney keeps it alive. Wee gets it out, back to Carrington, back to Rose, and a blast by Abby Rose. Abby Rose gets it tied back up at 24 all.
Both teams going to their strength. They went to Shear and we went to Rose, and it's back to a 24 all tie.
Boulder back at the back line to serve for the Vikings. Good job, Wee. Gets it over to... Oh, good job. Partially blocked by Belle Peters. At a point for Cheney at 25-24.
Shear with the nice assist. She is a front row player now, so expect to see possibly on one of her sets that she's actually going to go up and hit it with that left hand too.
Good set by McKinley to Heitschmidt. There's Shear, dumps it over, and they get the match. 26-24, Cheney wins it on the second match. So 2-1 now. Vikings have the lead, but Cheney, that was just a nip and tuck match all the way, but we'll take a timeout. Timeout after a 2-1 Viking lead. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer. It features locations in Central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust.
Welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym, Game 4 of the 5-set match here for the Vikings. Cheney Cardinals have come back and taken Game 3 of the match, and they built a little bit of a lead, but it was tight and back and forth all the way. No more than a 4 or 5 point lead for either team, and Cheney finally just finished it out.
Yeah, they really did. It was an excellent match, I tell you, by both teams along the way. And really some great play on those last few points as well. I tell you, there was some excellent net play there at 24 all. That was really intense. I thought they played really, really well on both sides, leading the way that time for the Vikings with 3 kills. You had Rose with 3, you had Toll with 3, you had Peters with 3, all doing a nice job. 4 assists for Ramsey, 5 for Johnson. Meanwhile, leader for Cheney that one was 6 kills that time was Shear. She was dominant in that particular set and really, I think, wheeled her team to a victory there and did such an excellent job. But you know, you wouldn't expect anything less from two teams that are ranked number 2 and number 3 in the state. You wouldn't expect it to be a 3-0 shellacking on behalf of the Vikings. You expected Cheney to bounce back at some point in time. We just weren't sure if it was going to be before they could get one of those sets won. But sure enough, they do win the third set in impressive fashion there, coming back at the end and holding off a charge from Smoky Valley. And now we're looking at set 4, and this is uncharted territory for these teams.
Both teams, yeah, and this is where Shearer, who twisted that ankle, rolled that ankle a little bit, after now taking a minute or a little more for a timeout, having a chance to have that ankle tighten up a little bit. You certainly don't want that to be a factor, but yet it is a factor because it's just an accident that happened, and so see how she plays through it.
I don't think you'll hear her talk about that ankle till tomorrow.
No.
Hey, 450 people, 450 devices watching tonight. I don't know if that's a record or not for us, but that's pretty impressive. We appreciate all those people joining us on live.smokyvalley.org. If you're listening on the radio and have your phone with you, pull off to the side of the road and be ready to listen to some quality volleyball to finish this night up.
Well, you can listen on the radio. You can listen on your computer. There's certainly a lot of people there tonight. McKinley Johnson starts it off, dug out by Shearer. It over to Albers, who puts it over to Haxton, and called a double hit. So the Vikings this time get the first point. First point really doesn't make it the match.
It does if you lose by 1 at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't. Can't lose by 1, so that won't happen. Wee to get it again to Albers. Tipped, saved by Heitschmidt. Here comes McKinley to Boldra, and it's in. Good job. 2-0 Viking lead.
Boldra really is starting to come alive. She had a really big kill night early, and that's her first kill here in this set.
McKinley again getting it over. Oh. Was that Wee or is that 12?
That was Wee that time. That was a nice play, and that's what we mentioned. She has that ability to just elevate and go make that hit, and she does that right there in beautiful fashion. She has kind of disappeared from the kill scene for a couple of games now.
But she's back serving. Here comes Boulder again, and block made either Albers or number 12, Lures, but it tied it up at 2-2. Wee to serve it again. Micah Haxton, McKinley, over by the Vikings. Lures gets it. Back over to Shear, and partially blocked. But a 3-0 run by Cheney to take a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, again, Shear making her presence felt here with a nice kill. A good assist by Wee on that one as well.
Yeah, Wee comes up and serves, then comes and beats. She's not a spectator. There's no way. Oh, the Vikings can't handle that at ace serve. And now a 4-0 lead or 4-2 lead by Cheney.
Yeah, quick change. We're going to get a libero in just to kind of mix and match here. Vanderweg shows up into the lineup just to try to break things up a little bit.
Haxton with a nice dig to McKinley. Back to Haxton. Puts it in there, but dug nicely. Comes Shearer, and that one's going to be out. Oh, boy, that looked deep. That looked wide. Called in by line judge Kevin Steiner.
Again, only one small part of that ball has to touch that line, and that's one of the things you're looking at over there. It looked like it was going to be a tight one, but it ends up falling in.
And the Vikings having a little bit of luck, bad luck. That hit the net, and the Vikings tried to keep it in play, but it went up and fell down on the Cheney side at 6-2. The 6-0 run now. Haxton gets it up to Vanderweg. He gets it over to Rose. He gets it in kind of no man's land, but they save it. To Albers. There's a block by either Rose or Peters.
Yeah, I think that was a cross hit right there, so I'm going to give that one to Rose. I thought she was on top of that, had the nice ace block. Oddly enough, that's her first ace block of the night.
3-6, Vikings trail. Dug out nicely by Klein. It was right on the line. There's Shearer. And Shearer has found the spot again. Boy, Shearer, she has just been a terror for these last two games now.
She really has, and despite the injury she had, I think she's bounced back so well and done such a great job here of being able to lead her team and do what they need her to do.
Geegan now back serving again. She was serving at the end of the match that they won, but that one goes right into the net. We like that. 7-4.
You know, those first two sets of the night, it was the Vikings that had the control almost all the entire set. Now in set 3, Cheney's kind of switched that in set 4 right now, out to a nice start.
Rose goes deep with it. And the Vikings tip it out. Oh, good job by Franklin. Boy, Cheney doing everything they can to keep it alive. But the Vikings get the point. Good job by Bree Franklin.
Yeah, great sellout, though, on behalf of Cheney back there. I know Wee Wee was on the floor as well as Klein trying to get that ball up and keep it alive. But a nice play by Franklin.
Rose drops it over the net. Wee Wee picks it up. Job by the Vikings to play where they're supposed to be. Here comes Belle Peters. Good dig. Now, and Wee Wee can't keep from going across the net. Viking point at 7-6 now. 1 point deficit for Smoky Valley, but Wee Wee doing her job as a senior to knock that over with her fist.
Yeah, she really was there. Did a nice job.
Couldn't stop. Rose nails the serve right down the line. Here comes big hit, blocked nicely. Shearer, good dig by Abby Rose. Good job. Oh, they wanted a catch on that one. I think they had every right to have a catch. And that one comes down on the Viking side. 8-6.
Wee Wee with another nice set, and I tell you, you mentioned it. Shearer had 6 kills in the previous match, or set. She's got 4 already in this set out of their first 8 points.
Klein to put it in play. Boldra to Franklin, hit. Good job digging out by Cheney. Shearer can't get much power on that one. There's McKinley to Belle Peters, goes deep. Cheney saves it to Wee Wee. Gets it over. Good job by the Vikings. Boulder went down. Rose had to go over the top of her and just couldn't sell out enough to get it. And it's 9-6, Cheney with a 3-point lead.
Cheney's a lot better in system right now. You're seeing a lot more stats from them because they're getting to the ball and they're getting the first pass down.
Boulder to McKinley, to Franklin. That's out. Vikings needed that one to fall in. It's a 3-0 run. 6 for the Vikings, 10 for Cheney here. Oh, and there's a bad serve by Klein at 7-10 now. Vikings trail by 3. Ramsey to come in and do the honors for Smoky Valley. McKinley also gets a break. Franklin, Toll, and Heitschmidt on the front row. Dig out nicely. Wee Wee. Good dig by Boulder. Ramsey to Heitschmidt. Good hit. Dug out nicely. Wee Wee to Shearer. Oh, beautiful block by Franklin. 10-8.
Yeah, that was finally taking Shearer out right that time. She was going across court, and Franklin timed it beautifully. That's one of the few times in the last 2 sets that Shearer's been stopped.
Good serve by Ramsey. And that one's going to be trouble.
Yeah, Pipkin's going to end up coming across the line right there. That was a tough one. Put her in tight. She wasn't able to get rolled around as quickly as what she wanted because of the timing there, and she ends up going under the net. So that brings it back to within 1.
10-9. Ramsey back at the service line still. Good job putting it in. Oh, both two players going after that one. Good job by the Vikings. Cole Franklin will give it to both of them. I couldn't tell. Maybe you can on the replay.
I can't tell. They both did such a great job over there. What a fantastic play for both of them.
At 10-10. Ramsey again, deep serve. Wee Wee with the set to Shearer. Good dig by Rose. Ramsey. Rose. Just to play it softly. Pipkin got the point for Cheney. They stopped the 4-0 Viking run to take a 1-point lead, 10-11.
Yeah, Shear with the assist on that one. Vikings have been taking her away hitting-wise a little bit lately, but now she's able to get back in the assist column as well.
Rolls up the arms of Boulder a little bit. Ramsey gets it over. Now Boulder gets it over. Klein. Shear. Good job by Boulder to keep it alive. And they get it back over the net. Good job by the Vikings. Here comes Haig. And Haig can't. Haig gets it in no man's land. Ramsey and Toll were going to go for it. And they both let the other one have it. Shearer back to serve with 2-point lead, 12-10. Vikings have to go get it. Rose does. And Boulder will get it over. Yes, just barely over the net. Here comes. Good job by the Franklin at the line. And the Vikings can't handle it. Haig now all of a sudden has got a couple of hits at the net.
Yeah, Haig, a nice tall player. They're 6 foot tall. The sophomore making a nice play here in this fourth set.
Shearer's been doing a good job serving. Rose goes down to get it. Good job by Boulder. Haig set it up. Good block by the Vikings. Here's Ramsey to Franklin. Saved by Cheney. And they can't get it over the net. 13-11 now. Vikings trail by 2. And now Heichman will be serving.
Yeah, Pipkin had a nice idea right there. She wanted to send that ball deep, just a little flat at the net.
Oh, and Heichman can't get it over the net. Vikings almost started to tighten up just a little bit here.
Well, again, you're not used to playing 4 sets.
No.
And really for the Vikings for most of the season, I think they've only been pushed 3 on about 3 occasions, maybe 4. So you haven't done this a whole lot. You've been playing well, but at the same time, never played this long all season.
Dig out by Rose. Ramsey. Toll goes deep. Saved by Cheney. They have to get it over the net, and they do. Rose to Ramsey to Franklin. And good job by Franklin to put the ball away, 14-12. Vikings trail by 2.
Credit to Cheney right there. That's only the second assist for the Vikings in this particular game because it's been such scramble volleyball. Cheney's kept them on their heels.
Franklin to serve. Good deep serve is too deep. Vikings give it right back at 15-12.
You made the comment in Game 3, we haven't seen a lot of Viking errors as far as serving. Some of them have been attack-based, but we've seen more of those here in Set 3 and Set 4 than what we've seen in a while. Yeah, I think we have a scoring error there. Just went in the wrong direction. It should be 12-15.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
have.
is that right? 12-15?
Yep. Okay, there we go. And Pipkin back to serve for Cheney. Dug out nicely by Haxon to Ramsey to Maddie Toll. Got on top of that one. They need something to get momentum back on their side. That might be it.
Yeah, Ramsey another nice set, but again, Toll bringing it. That is her 7th kill here on the night.
Yeah, it's been Maddie Toll's night here, and she's continuing to play well.
She's been very consistent. Like I said, she set the tone tonight by taking some of their hitters out of the mix, I think, for the first 2 sets. And she's been very good at hitting the ball as well.
McKinley drops in a low one. Oh, Wee trying to do one of her patented back line hits. That one went too deep, and it gets it to a 1-point game at 15-14.
She's better at that when she gets a full lift out of it. She didn't have a chance to get any lift that time because the ball came in kind of hot to her off the pass.
Wee to Albers. And the Vikings get a block. Ace block by Peters. I think she did. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it was Peters. I think she just tried to roll shot that one right over Bell. There was no space there. Bell was on top of that.
McKinley with another good serve. Wee with the set to Albers. Albers with the kill, but nicely dug by Haxon. Over to Boulder. And they save it. But there's Rose. They called 2 hits on Cheney's tie. Vikings take their first lead late here at 16-15. Dug out nicely by Cheney. It's going to be a deep hit by Shear. Oh, it's right on the line. Boy, they've got more line shots here in the last 2 sets. Every one of those that is close has been on the line.
It made a great placement. Again, Shear is getting that roll shot coming down at the back line, and she's doing a great job dropping it in.
Wee to serve. Here's Franklin. They called that 2 hits on the set.
Ball came in just a little bit low, and with her trying to push it backwards, he calls that 2 on that one. So, again, that puts them up 17-16.
Wee to put it in play. Haxton gets it up to Bill Peters. He gets it to Haig, or to Albers. Shear drops it down. Oh, Shear found a spot again. 18-16 Cheney. The Vikings call a timeout. Good timeout by Coach Ramsey. He's sensing a little bit of frustration. I'm sensing a little bit of frustration on the court by the Vikings because it seems like Cheney is getting all the little breaks right now.
You know, that's what you get a lot of times when you have a really close set that you can't quite pick up, and then you have to play that next one. That momentum, again, you and I talk about it all the time when we talk about this sport. Momentum is king, or in this case, queen. I mean, it definitely sets that up. And in this scenario, Cheney's got just a little bit more of it. I tell you, what a phenomenal job by Shear in the last 2 sets. She has 12 kills in set 3 and set 4. She only had 4 coming into that 3rd set. She's really been the difference, and they are going to her almost exclusively. She's doing a nice job pushing the ball to other people when she's up there, but what a great, great match here. Almost 500 devices watching us right now on live.smokyvalley.org.
Oh, my gosh.
And they are watching some phenomenal volleyball.
Well, I hope we're fair on our color or commentary because it's just an exciting match. We're giving credit where credit is due. Both teams are playing sensational volleyball. Wee to serve again for Cheney. Haxton to Boldra to Peters deep. That might have been out, but played it. Shear again. Oh, there's a nice block by Boldra or Rose. Vikings needed that, and they step up with their all-state player in Rose.
Yeah, Rose right there on that cross hit. She's all over that play, and they put it back down on Cheney on that one and Shear.
1-point deficit for the Vikings. Boldra at the net to serve. Oh, good job by the serve. Oh, there's Rose again. Rose suddenly elevating. She's a long way over that net.
I tell you get to that point where that ball's coming at the net and you're watching the ball the whole time. You forget that player's on the other side of the net ready to block it right back at you, and Abby was all over that play.
Boldra serve again. Good job. Here's Wee with the set. Back to Shear. Blocked by the Vikings. Wee goes deep, but Haxton right there. McKinley to Abby Rose. Vikings up 19-18. 3 in a row for the Vikings.
Abby Rose been kind of quiet here for a little while, and all of a sudden it is her time to shine with 2 big ace blocks and a kill, and that'll force Cheney now to call timeout as they fall down by 1.
Yeah, it's just going to be a wonderful last segment of this game here. Somebody's going to come away with a victory, and it can either go to 5 sets or the Vikings can win it in 4, but like we're sitting out right now, the momentum's starting to come back on the Vikings side, and their coach realized that. She called the timeout too.
As a coach at this stage, I don't know if you ever like where you're sitting at because the game switches so quickly. You know, you can be up by 1 at this point and find yourself down by 3 in a breath.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take very long. But right now is, again, where both coaches are telling their players, hey, it's time to step up. But you got to play the same way you've played for 30-plus matches this year. Don't change what you're doing. Don't tighten up. Just relax and go out and play the game you love and get it done.
Have some fun. That's the old coaching adage. Have some fun out there. Enjoy what you're doing. Good serve by Boldra. Dug out by Shear. Shear has to go back and get it. McKinley to Heitschmidt. Oh, it's going to be deep. Darn it. 19-19. They got it where they wanted it. Heitschmidt just couldn't quite keep it in play.
Yeah, nice set by Haxton. Obviously, she had to there because McKinley Johnson, the setter, was out on that one after making the first pass. Heitschmidt just sends it a little deep.
Gear to serve again. Drops it in. Good job, McKinley. To Abby. And a kill by Abby. 20-19. Vikings edging closer to that 25-point mark.
You know, Rose has kind of come to life for the Vikings. Now the drawback is she's in the back row. I know we got Franklin back in, but Abby's kind of been the go-to here in these last 3 or 4 points. She's there back to serve, and she's been phenomenal there as well.
Good serve deep. Shear sets it up. Good block by Franklin. Oh, my goodness, what a block. 21-19. Franklin. And the second timeout by Walkup. Walkup decides that he can't wait any longer. Vikings up by 2. It's the biggest lead they've had really in the last 2 games. They've been trailing most of the way.
Yeah, you don't want to have to use that second timeout so quickly. You want to make sure that game stays within about 1 point back and forth. But when they got up to 2 with the potential for 3, and knowing that Abby Rose is serving, she's got such a volatile serve, especially with her ability to move the ball around the court into different places. She's really been on tonight with that. You've got to take that timeout and try to quell this, shut it down. Cheney really needs this point. You don't want to find yourself down 3 late in a match like this with your back against the wall, knowing that if you lose, you're done. So they really need to get this point broken. On the other hand, Smoky Valley's just got to come out here and execute and play their game.
Abby Rose to serve it at 21-19 lead for the Vikings. Good serve. Klein digs it out to Shear. Good job by Abby Rose. Play deep. Shear with it. Now to Guerin, and that's going to be out. That's a great job by the Vikings. And you mentioned Abby Rose being on the back row, but boy, she was valuable back there on that dig.
Yeah, she had a great dig back there and a nice play. And again, another chance for a serve.
22-19. Abby low, dug out nicely by Klein. Shear. Oh, there's Bree Franklin with the spot. And the Vikings at 23-19. It's a 7-1 run now for the Vikings to get close to the game point.
Yeah, great play right there. I tell you, the play was offset just a little bit, and so Shear had to play it from deep. Wasn't really ready to play it from there. And I think we're going to see an out of rotation here. They didn't come in the right location, I don't believe, and that's going to end up costing Cheney a point here at a huge time. So they're going to talk about that and make sure they have the right call, but Haig ends up coming in. I'm not sure if she came in the right spot. Again, they're just trying to break up the rotation here and do something, but the mistake made here.
And the Vikings got
That's going to be point Vikings. So that puts them within 1 point now of being in the Final Four this year for Smoky Valley. They're going to be sitting at 24-19 with a chance to finish this off.
Abby Rose to serve it. And it hits over the net. Cheney can't keep it, and that's it. The Vikings advance to the Final Four. The Vikings advance to the Final Four. First time ever at state, and then going to the Final Four. What an exciting night of volleyball.
What a phenomenal day for Viking athletics, for Smoky Valley volleyball, making it to the Final Four. This is, again, hasn't been to state since 1987. What an excellent job for these young ladies. Can't be more proud of them and their coaching staff. What a battle tonight, taking down the number 2 team in the state in 4 sets and getting it done late here with a big rally to make a comeback.
They were down 16-18. They were down 18. They only allowed 1 point, a 9-1 run to finish out the match. So what an exciting job. We'll take this 1 minute timeout. We'll come back and talk about this. The Vikings are going to the Final Four. Back after this 1 minute timeout.
At Smoky Valley Schools, we believe our children deserve a well-rounded educational experience, which includes academics as well as involvement in extracurricular activities. Athletics provides opportunities that don't exist in the classroom and teaches students essential skills that they will use throughout their lives. At Smoky...
Vikings prevail in 4 sets, 3-1, and well, it was a close match, and the Vikings were teetering back and forth. They got it tied a couple of times, and they got ahead a little bit, and then all of a sudden, down by 2, 18-16. They put the team on their back and took a 9-1 run to finish it out in just awesome fashion.
Yeah, it was an amazing, amazing game. I tell you, both teams played extremely well. I thought the Smoky Valley Vikings did an excellent job starting that off and really getting the momentum tonight. You know, it is tough when you get to this stage and you get down 2-0 and you have to try to battle back. And the Vikings knew that. They knew they needed to get on top early. They knew they needed to hold them down. And in true fashion, Cheney battled back. They did exactly what they had to do in set 3 and get the win, and then battled to take that lead in set 4 and really push the Vikings and make them have to make big plays to come back.
Yeah, you feel sorry for the substitution error that they had that got the Vikings to that 24th point, but that's part of what happens in sports and part of what makes it exciting. But you know, they had to know that rule, and they knew where she went, and that's why it takes 2 officials in a volleyball match.
And that's part of what I told you, why you don't like to use that second time out yet, but she had to. And once they end up getting that next point, and then she wanted to get another sub in there to kind of break that up. You just try to, again, slow the pace just a little bit. And in that scenario, again, I've been there, I've done that. We've all been in that situation. You're trying to make a quick decision, and unfortunately for them, it kind of backfired.
What do you got for some stats in this final game?
Again, hats off tonight to Cheney. What a phenomenal season for them. They finished the season 28-4, and of course qualify for that final 8 this year as well. Shear led the way for them in kills. She was very dominant down the stretch. 16 total kills. Next in line for them, Martin with 7. Then I had Wee Wee with 4, Albers with 4, Pipkin with 4. I had Haig with 3, and I had Lures with 1. Assist-wise, Wee Wee finishes with 14 assists. Shear was 7. Martin had 1. I had 2 ace blocks for Albers, 1 for Shear. Aces, Lies had 1. 2. Shear had 1. Wee Wee had 1, and Albers had 1. For the Vikings, they were led in the kill category by Abby Rose. She had 13 kills. Very consistent throughout the night. Bree Franklin second with 9. We mentioned her name a lot tonight. Maddie Toll, 7 kills on the night for the Vikings from that right side. Next, Aubrey Boldra had 6. Heitschmidt 6. Belle Peters with 5. Haxton even had 2 from her back line as well. 19 assists tonight for Johnson. 17 for Ramsey. A very workmanlike job by those two. Also 2 assists for Rose. 1 for Haxton. 1 for Franklin. 4 ace blocks tonight for Maddie Toll, again, to go with those 7 kills she had. 3 for Rose, 3 for Franklin, 2 for Peters, and then 3 aces for Boulder tonight, and 1 for Abby Rose. I'm giving her 1 on that last one. That was a heck of a serve to finish that off.
Yeah, no question about it. It's just an exciting night to be a Viking, exciting couple of weeks to be a Viking, and now we got to look forward to the Viking football team going up to Riley County to play football on Friday night. The Viking cross-country team going to Wamego on Saturday to run in the state. The Viking volleyball now going to the Final Four. And it's pool play now. So Goodland, Smoky Valley, Sabetha, and Pomona West Franklin are the 4 teams that are in that pool. And they'll play each team a best of 3. And then if you end up in no matter where you end up, you're going to play for 3rd or 4th either. So you're going to play pool play as well, or bracket play, so you can upset the other one, and then you can just do a great job.
Yeah, the way I look at it here, I think we're going to see the first seed obviously is going to be Sabetha. They're sitting at 36-1 right now, and then I see the Vikings probably coming in as the 2 seed then at 31-2. Then you've got Pomona at 31-3. And Goodland at 33-5. So the way I read that out, the Vikings will open up pool play at 10:45 a.m. If I'm not mistaken, they would be the 2, so it'd be the 1 versus the 2. Okay, so that would be Sabetha versus Smoky to get things going. Then the Vikings would then move to Court B at 11:45. If I'm reading this correctly, because it would be the 2 seed versus the 4 seed, so they would play Goodland next, and they would finish then on Court B at 12:45 against Pomona West Franklin. So that's the way I'm reading it.
Yeah.
If you seed those out by record. So again, Vikings will be on court A at 10:45, court B at 11:45, and court B at 12:45.
What an exciting evening of volleyball here, and we appreciate the Smoky Valley School and helping to support the broadcast tonight. We really thank all our sponsors who got bonus coverage tonight by having us cover volleyball on the radio. We don't normally do that, but I don't know what we'll be able to do Saturday, whether we'll be able to carry anything or not. We'll have to stay tuned for some updates, but the Vikings are just playing so well. I wouldn't want to play us right now.
I wouldn't want to play us either. The girls are playing such intense volleyball together. The unity on that squad and the lack of, I tell you what, just the composure. I shouldn't say the lack of, but the composure that we have shown. Very few things seem to get to us. I mean, we have really been even keel throughout this entire season. We mentioned before, all of these seniors and juniors who are part of this team were all a part of this team last year. It's the same group back. And again, they weathered the storm last year, had a good season this year in the middle of a great season. Can't be more proud of them.
Can't be more proud of them. And that first hiccup at home against Hillsboro, Hillsboro's in the Final Four. So, that at the time you thought that was maybe a bad loss, but turns out that was not a bad loss at all. And then the only other one you lost to is 5A Buhler.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. Like I said, I thought watching Hillsboro looked really good that night. I know most of our people would say, we didn't play as well as we were capable of playing, but we also played against a really good team. I think that was a little bit more prepared that night than what we were. And now all of a sudden we've just put everything together throughout the season. We've played some very, very good teams. You're right. We lost to Buhler along the way, 5A, but we've really played some passionate volleyball.
Yeah, and played some good teams. We've had our cupcakes, you could say, where you have some league schools that aren't doing very good, have more than 1 or 2 wins. But all in all, you still have to play. You still have to spike the ball and hit the ball, serve the ball, and you can't take anybody lightly.
Yeah, but I think that's even more difficult sometimes when you're playing against teams that are struggling a little bit, and you've got games that aren't competing where you don't have to compete at such a high level versus Cheney playing down closer to the Wichita area and maybe playing some teams that are up at that level night in, night out. We're showing that we can beat anybody on any given night.
Absolutely, no question about it. So any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Again, thanks to the radio station for putting us on tonight. Thanks for our sponsors. Thanks for Mike Rose, all the work that he's done to do live.smokeyvalley.org. He's going to be
500 devices.
Yeah, nearly 500 devices tonight, again, from all over the place checking us out, whether they were for Cheney or for Smoky or just avid watchers. They saw a great, great volleyball match tonight. Hats off to Charlene Ramsey and her staff. Congrats again, being a volleyball coach. Tear in my eye tonight just seeing us finally get to that point. We all strive for that as coaches. I know all of us in that tree are so excited to see that happen and to see them have that opportunity. And even as a teacher, what a great job to see these young athletes have an opportunity to do something like this.
For Mike, for Jared back at the station, for Doug, this is Don wishing everybody a very pleasant good night. Thanks for listening. We'll be at Riley County Friday night for football. And then good luck to the cross country and volleyball at their state on Saturday. Take care, everyone. Good night.